In 1945, the international community established a new order through the United Nations and the World Bank, aiming to stabilize the global economy through cooperation and shared development. We track this integration using the Trade Openness Index. Calculating world exports and imports divided by global GDP shows a vertical climb in economic interdependence since 1940. This physical expansion of maritime trade, digital flows, and agricultural networks now links every continent. While these interconnected markets lifted millions out of poverty, they also interlinked the basic survival of distant societies, making the health of one region a prerequisite for the stability of another. The very systems designed to generate wealth have become the conduits for global vulnerability. Imagine a regional nuclear exchange of 150 warheads. The immediate damage is severe, but the long-term impact is driven by a societal teleconnection. In meteorology, a teleconnection occurs when a weather anomaly in one region causes a climate shift thousands of miles away. In our globalized economy, societal teleconnections work the same way. A shock to one local node propagates through trade, food, and financial sectors across the entire world. This means a localized detonation triggers a multi-sector network failure that reaches far beyond the physical blast radius. When one critical sector, like energy, breaks down, it disables water processing, food distribution, and communications in unpredictable, non-linear sequences. In an interconnected world, the failure of these human systems transforms a regional conflict into a global crisis. In a 150 warhead exchange, the primary environmental driver is the injection of 5 teragrams of soot into the upper atmosphere. This soot blocks solar radiation, causing a sudden drop in global temperatures and disrupting historical precipitation patterns. We can project the impact on global food security using these estimates of production losses. The data shows the most severe drops in temperate regions above 30 degrees north latitude, the specific band containing the primary agricultural zones of the US, China, and Europe. In these regions, essential staples like maize, wheat, and rice face yield reductions between 15 and 40%. These primary agricultural belts would fail simultaneously within the very first harvest cycle following the exchange. Most populations do not consume food grown in their own region. Instead, they rely on a global system that separates producers from consumers by thousands of miles. This network map shows how wheat and rice trade is concentrated into a few fragile export links. When Northern Hemisphere crop yields collapse, these primary export links from the US, Europe, and China dry up. Producing nations often prioritize domestic needs and lock down their reserves, which restricts the global supply and pushes the agricultural deficit directly into the global south. This makes a contained agricultural failure in one hemisphere the mechanical trigger for multi-year famine on the other side of the planet. We can validate these projections by looking at how global markets have reacted to historical disruptions. The World Food Price Index shows a direct correlation between localized global events and massive spikes in the cost of basic nutrition. This includes the price spikes during the 1973 oil crisis, the 2011 regional droughts, and the supply chain shocks of the early 2020s. If these minor disruptions cause such violent price spikes, the destruction of major fertilizer plants and ports during a nuclear exchange would fracture the global food system beyond repair. Atmospheric shocks also trigger secondary health crises. Volcanic eruptions serve as a proxy, showing how sudden cooling alters disease vector habitats and shifts the range of illnesses like malaria and dengue fever globally. We also see the impact of infrastructure breakdown in events like the 2022 Pakistan floods, where damaged sanitation and water processing systems led to the rapid spread of infectious diseases. The disruption of water systems, food supply chains, and mass human displacement can trigger global mortality rates that far exceed the direct effects of radiation. Most of our current economic and climate models are ill-equipped to predict these catastrophic outcomes. Standard models assume near equilibrium conditions, where changes are gradual and societies have time to adapt over decades. A nuclear exchange creates massive short-term disequilibria, causing trade, labor markets, and infrastructure to collapse faster than current models can simulate. We currently lack the transdisciplinary modeling needed to map this level of sudden multi-sectoral failure. Because our systems are tightly coupled, the ultimate impact of a detonation is determined by the baseline resilience of the communities left behind. This resilience is a quantifiable metric derived from social capital. To withstand a multi-sectoral shock, a community requires resources across these specific domains. This includes natural, infrastructure, financial, human and cultural, social and political capital. Communities lacking these resources before a disaster hits are unable to absorb the socio-economic shockwave of a distant nuclear event. Effective preparedness must shift from reacting to disasters after they occur to building resilience during the intervals between them. Bridging the gap to true resilience requires 5 pillars: stable governance, advanced human capital, consistent funding, robust infrastructure, and integrated data. Hardening our global network against a nuclear shock requires an enterprise-wide approach to fund predictive models and secure international supply chains. A resilient, heavily capitalized global network is our primary defense against the cascading effects of a localized nuclear blast.